Alright, welcome to my channel. This is Locksport. This is going to be a part 2 to the Abus 2890. If you do notice, there is a gutting tray there. This lock is typically not guttable, but a little help with my buddy Dremel, and I tried to make it as neat as possible. I was able to cut out the retaining ring for this collar, so just to show that the lock still does function as it should. It's just I've cut this out, so hopefully I haven't pulled it apart yet, so hopefully this will come out without any too much of trouble. I'm wondering if I burred it up so much that it doesn't want to come out. So let me get a helper here and just to see if I can, because I did kind of burr it up a little bit with the Dremel. There is the retaining collar, there's the core. So let me get some tweezers out here and let's look here. So the first disc is, let's see, is that a disc or looks like it's more of a spinner, but it's allowed to spin 90 degrees. Alright, we'll put that one there. What is this? Is that a sidebar? Nope, that's not a sidebar. That is part of the core. Because there's the sidebar there. Let's see if I can get this out without making a mess. Alright, go back in there. Go back into the lock. Alright. So, yep, there's the two ball bearings. Oh, those two ball bearings, where'd you go? I think it fell into the shackle hole. So there's a ball bearing. There was the sidebar. There's the other ball bearing. So nothing else in the housing. There's the groove for the sidebar right there. Let me get that, put that in there. Okay, so first disc. Let's see, there we go. So instead of them having a tab like other disc detainers, which have just a tab on the disc, these have a notch cut throughout the disc to limit the rotation, and the housing is solid all the way around. That's interesting. A little bit different design. So there is a, looks like a brass or copper spacer, another disc, still no faults gates. Okay, just gonna push my spacer over. Okay. Oops, I flipped that one. Put it back right. Okay, I'm gonna grab a couple. Let's see if I can not mess this up too bad. Okay. Alright. Okay. So nothing else in the core. You can hopefully, let me see if I can focus. Right there. Focus. Focus. Right there. Hopefully you can see that. 4. Which way is it facing? Right there. There it is. There's the 4. Why does that look upside down in my camera? Okay, there's the right way. 4. Alright, there is a spring in the back. I have been kind of, let's see, continuous focus, sorry. So there is a spring in the back. We'll pull that out, stick it right there. The housing goes there. So we'll take a closer look at these discs. And give me just a sec, I'm gonna move the camera. Sorry for any. Alright. So move this over here. So I'm just going to So I don't know if you notice, that has a 4 on it. Okay. That has a 1. Is that a 3? 5, 3, 3, 2. So, looking at the key, this would be the back of the lock. So that would be 2 is basically, I'm guessing, 1 off of, let's see, is the second disc a 3? No, second disc is a 1. So 1 is almost, I won't quite say it's a 0 because it, oops, let me get that in there. 0 is not quite rounded off, or it's rounded up just a little bit right there. So maybe, and that corresponds to a 1. Then the next deepest is there, and that corresponds to a 2. The next deepest is, well, looks like all the rest are the same except for that one. So that's a 3, that's a 3, then there, this is a 5, which is a no turn, that's it, and then a 3, and then that deep 1, and then a 4. Okay, so we have a 1 cut, a 2 cut, these are all 3s, then a 4, then a 5 cut on their discs here. So I wonder if that's, so if we don't have a 0, wondering if it's just 5 positions, or would there be one even deeper than that, because that one's pretty close to a full 90. But anyway, there you have it. And one more look at the inside. It's all brass, nothing really differentiating the sides except that little cutout there. So I'm just out of curiosity, what keeps it from turning all the way? Is it just the fact that the ball bearings, let me zoom back out, ball bearings against the shackle won't let it turn, or is there something else that won't let it turn? Because it will turn freely right now. Is there anything else? Nothing with the sidebar, nope. So I'm wondering if I put, and I don't think it matters which side, maybe that the shackle goes in. I didn't pay that much attention. That one's got a nick in the bottom, so I'm assuming that's where the shackle landed. Okay. So either way, I'm gonna drop that in. Drop that ball bearing. Oops. Put it in the camera. Use my screwdriver just to. Y'all go to your appropriate hole. Stay in your hole. Okay. Alright. Try that trick. Ah! Did they stay? Yep, they stayed. Trying a little puzzle trick to spin them, and they're not wanting to cooperate. Anyway, let's see if I can get them to cooperate if I drop this down. So this one, that needs to go towards the shackle. Okay, now if I can get the little ball bearings to spin for me. Alright, enough playing with that. Let's fix this for real. If I can find it. Of course, when I need it, I can't find it. A little tube of grease that I used. Oh, there it is. Alright. Probably made a joke about this in a previous video. greasy ball. Oop, that one left half the grease up here. Well, one thing about it, they've already started sticking with this grease. Besides the screwdriver being magnetic and wanting to pull the ball bearings out. Okay, so let's drop that there. Okay. So what is preventing this? Oh, I know what's preventing it now. It was that first disc. This is the limiter to prevent the core from rotating in the wrong, more than 90 degrees or in the wrong direction. Because that should fit right there. There we go. If I can get my screwdriver out. Come on. Need something non-magnetic. So once this is in there, then that limits the rotation with this one disc. So that's what this outer disc is for. It's not a spinner or anything. It is what limits the rotation of the core, is that first disc right there. And it's a spacer more than a disc. So that's what keeps the core in the correct position. So question. So no, that shackle has to be in that side then, because if I switch it around, it would not allow it to. Let's see, go to 90, which is open. Let's see if I can pull this back out. Okay, come on. Gotta pull that, drop that core. There we go. So now, if I was to switch the positions and get back in there, go back where you're supposed to be, put this back in its correct position. Okay, and I'm just going to, so that's the lock position, which works correctly. Then that is the unlock position, but the shackle won't come out because this one of the ball bearings is not coming in far enough. I'm thinking it would be this side. It's not retracted far enough to allow the shackle to come out. So, all right. So drop that back out, and now I should be able to pull the shackle out. Yeah, it's not very noticeable, but I'm thinking the shackle is a different cut depth. Let's confirm that. Let's see, 0. So right there, we're at approximately 6.6 millimeters versus, no? Oh, I know what it is. It's that piece right there. So that's the full shackle width, where that one is 8. That's the difference. It's not that cut, it's that cut that allows it to pull out, because this one usually retracts further so it can clear that. Okay. Alright, I guess this video is long enough. But anyway, that is the gutting of the Abus 289. Alright, thanks for watching.